Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Thank you for your patience. Sorry about the mix-up.
Oh, it's all good, man. I've just been hanging out and enjoying your show. I've really enjoyed it so far.
All
Yeah.
right, good. Well, you need to see Iron Lung. Iron
I
Lung,
know. Sounds like
another.
my kind of movie.
It's indie, and I love indie films. I have your trailer queued up here, and I want to show it to people. But tell us about the Roaring game and how you got involved.
Yeah, so The Roaring Game, believe it or not, was the first movie I ever wrote out of film school when I was just like a 23-year-old young wannabe screenwriter. And I grew up on the Farley Brothers movies and all of those kind of 90s and early 2000s comedies that usually had to do with an underdog that has some kind of rare skill set that is able to be applied to a sport to make them special. Movies like Happy Gilmore, those were the movies that kind of sung to me growing up. And it was the Olympics were on, and I was watching curling, and I'm with my buddies. And curling always seemed like that one sport that you don't really need to run fast. You don't really need to be super strong. Like you look at the guys, and they've evolved a little bit, but they weren't the most athletic looking guys. So I said to my buddies, I bet you like if we tried really hard at this, like this was our only job, like we could probably do this. They give gold medals out for this. So I got the idea of, well, what if there was this janitor that was really good at sweeping? And he decides to try his hand at curling, and it evolved into a story. And I've always loved the romantic comedy genre. And it's kind of funny, watching your review. I grew up in the horror space. Like my first few movies were thrillers and horror movies, but I always wanted to do comedy and I never got a chance to. So this was my comedy. This was my romantic comedy. And we built it up around, well, what if this guy was a janitor, but he meets this really great girl, but he's ashamed to tell her he's a janitor. So he lies and says he's a bounty hunter. And then of course she finds out he's a janitor, and you've been lying to me for a year. Like, I don't trust you. She goes off on her way, and he decides to, kind of impress her by making something out of himself. So that's The Roaring Game.
Let's take a look at the trailer for this. Is it the world's first curling comedy?
There's a movie called Men with Brooms that came out a little while back, believe it or not. But this is how about this? This is the first one in a long time.
All right, let's see it.
Ricky, some kid just puked his guts out. I need my top janitor, okay?
Maybe you should take some time and put yourself back together. Not for me, for your next girlfriend.
USA men's curling has been exposed in a bizarre scandal.
I figured out how I'm going to get Kelly back. We must curl.
Huh? Game with the brooms on the ice.
You need 10 grand for an entry fee.
I might know a way to get the dough for you. You need a team.
You familiar with the sport?
I don't know if I would consider it a sport. Now, you owe me. So I suggest you go for the gold.
We have some unique skills that'll make us naturals. Hank and I know a thing or two about sweeping. Fire!
First big win in the books, baby.
They look good, PK. They look real good.
When I saw you on TV, I thought I was hallucinating.
Yeah, I'm still a little shocked myself.
People train their entire lives to get into the games.
It's curling.
We are the defending gold medalists.
We're going to kick your ass.
You silly Americans. You watch too much Rocky IV.
We are taking home the gold.
Let it roar! In this life, you only get a certain amount of chances, and then it's over. You gotta do the best you can do.
That's not good.
I mean, Mickey Rourke and Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah. Oh my God. So how'd you pull together? I have a lot of questions. We have questions in the chat. How'd you get Mickey Rourke and Gronk?
I work with a guy by the name of Chad Verdi who produced this movie, and he always pulls in a great cast. He's produced most of my movies. And yeah, he's just really always great about bringing kind of an eclectic cast together where you've got these kind of, old school war horses of the acting world, like Mickey Rourke and William Forsythe's in the movie too. And then you got, the kind of TV star like a Darren Brooks, who was in Blue Mountain State. And then even Vanessa Angel's in this movie from the Weird Science world. We've got Antoine Tanner from One Tree Hill. And then you just mentioned it, Gronk. I mean, NFL, star, future Hall of Famer. So it's pretty cool to see kind of the grab bag of actors we have in this one.
That's great. And then I don't know anything about, I mean, I've seen curling during the Olympics. Is it something, what is it with the broom? Like, what are they doing? I want to answer that for me.
So a lot of people ask me like, oh, you wrote this movie, you must be like a curling guy. I'm like, no, I never curled in my life. And finally, when we made the movie, we actually all, as a kind of team building exercise, the whole cast and crew, we went to one of these curling clubs and we learned from some like actual, believe it or not, like nationally ranked curlers taught us how to do it. And the sweeping has to do with adding or subtracting friction on the ice. That depends on how fast you make the stone go, because that stone's 40 pounds, believe it or not. So if you sweep hard enough, the stone will go fast. If you don't sweep, it'll slow down. And at the end of the day, it's a lot like darts on the ice. You're trying to get your stone in the middle of the bullseye. And what people don't realize, when you're playing it, man, that target, they call it the house, but it's a target basically. It's really far. Like you have to really like slide this thing. So let's put it this way: it's a lot harder than it looks.
I assume
it's about influencing momentum, but can you influence the direction, like change the direction of the stone? Or?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Similar to like throwing a curveball in baseball, guys can change the angle of their hand and how you hold the handle and let go. You can actually like curve it. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
We've got over 1,000 people watching live and lots of questions. So let's get to those questions from our audience.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Here we go. Saint Solomon, greetings, Sir Tom. What do you think makes a good comedy film?
I think it's all about surprising people, but at the same time, as much as you surprise them with something, you kind of give them something that they want, like something that they almost know that they want. But I think situations are funny. I mean, there's so many different types of comedy. I got to work with a really funny group of people, like Darren Brooks, the lead in this movie. A lot of the lines that I wrote, they might have been written one way, but then he would say it in his own kind of way, and that made it even more funny. So, but I think surprise. I think if you can surprise, if a person's expecting one thing and then something else happens, that's how you get people to laugh. Like you saw in the trailer, the janitor character, he punches out his boss. Like nobody saw that coming. Like,
all right, Matthew Hammond for 2. Vanessa Angel was in another sports movie, Kingpin.
That's right.
Oh man, Hook the Kingpin to my veins. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. Not only because, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I'm from Rhode Island, and the Farley brothers are also from Rhode Island. So as a little kid, like I remember kind of being inspired by them, and that movie was just so funny. And all my buddies, we went out and actually bought our own bowling balls and bowling shoes. So we tried to like get into it. That movie was great. And Vanessa Angel was in that. And I remember, I mean, who didn't love Vanessa Angel in that movie? So to have her in this one, it's been pretty cool.
All right, Tim is not funny. Good cinematography.
Shout out to Marcus Friedlander, really talented guy. I've gotten the chance to work with him a few times now. And you get lucky with certain cinematographers. We really vibe well. And I'm big on the storyboards. This was one of the first movies where I drew every single individual frame myself. I'm not a great artist. I'd say I'm somewhere around 8th grade level. But still, I can draw just enough to like know where I'm going to put my actors and where the camera's going to be. And we really vibe well together.
Yeah. And you had to shoot curling on top of all that.
Yeah. How do you make that exciting, right?
Yeah. Dutch McCollin, Winter Olympics just started. Nice timing.
Was that on purpose?
So that was kind of the plan. We had this plan again. When I say we, I mean, Chad Verdi is the producer of this, and he acquired this script a while ago, and we had always talked, man, how great would it be if this came out right when the Winter Olympics were happening? Never did we think that it would come out the same day the Olympics are actually starting. And it was cool, man. I was flipping through, I don't know why I said flipping through. I'm flipping through the internet the other day, and I see on the Google yesterday, they had like a little, they change the Google icon every so often.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a little curling man on the Google icon. And I was like, holy man, everything, the planets are aligning for curling. But, it's such a weird looking sport. I think everybody's kind of always, if anything, it's got that like, what is this factor?
All right, Davina Duckworth, is it a sport or is it a game? I mean, you can get a gold medal for it.
Yeah, you get a gold medal.
I bet you there's a lot of tough guys in Nova Scotia that would want to wave their broom at you if you didn't call it a sport.
I mean, their biceps must be amazing. Okay.
And did you is it out on VOD? How can people see it?
Yeah, so right now people can check the movie out on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Fandango, YouTube. You can check it out. Most like cable and satellite providers, if you do video on demand the old school way, just through the TV, you'll find it. So just search for The Roaring Game, and most likely it'll kind of pop on up.
Well, Tom, thanks for rolling with the punches and coming on the show. You got to watch some of what we do here, and we've cultivated an audience that is looking for something other than the big movies in theaters. And so I'm really happy you got to come on and talk to us today.
Well, I thank you for taking the time. It's really cool. It seems like you've built a really cool movie fan community here, and it's nice to be a part of it. So check out The Roaring Game, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. Take care, Tom. Thanks so much, and enjoy the Olympics and The Roaring Game. See ya.